Hello students, we will start with Unit 6 in Geography. The title of the lesson is Physical Geography of Tamil Nadu. First we will see what is meant by Physical Geography. Physical Geography is the branch of geography dealing with natural features. It is important to study about the natural features because it helps to understand life in our environment. While Tamil Nadu is known for its cultures and temples, the state is also blessed with its natural beauty. Now let us study and understand the physical geography of Tamil Nadu in detail. In this lesson, we are going to study about the history of formation of the state Tamil Nadu and also about the formation of districts in that state. Next, the major physiographic divisions, which includes the study of mountains, plateaus and plains. We will also study about the climate, the type of soil and also the natural vegetation. Finally, we will study about the natural disasters and their occurrences in Tamil Nadu. Now we will see about the formation of Tamil Nadu. During the Sangam age, Tamilagam was ruled by the three great emperors Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas. They were defeated by the Calabras, and these Calabras were ruling the Tamil country for a short period. Then again, the Tamil country came under the control of Pallavas, Pandyas and Cholas. After their decline, Marathas were ruling the country. These Marathas were defeated by the Mughals, and the Mughals were in turn defeated by the Vijayanagar Empire. Finally, the British took the control of the entire country. During the British rule in India, India was divided into three main presidencies. That is, they divided the whole country into three parts called as the presidencies. They divided it for their political and military purpose. In order to make their administration task in a better way and also to make it easy, they divided the whole country into three presidencies, namely Madras Presidency, Bombay Presidency and Calcutta Presidency. Now we will see about Madras Presidency. The Madras Presidency constitutes places like Tamil Nadu, parts of Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka and Orissa. So all these places comes under the Madras Presidency. That is the entire part of Tamil Nadu, and some parts of Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka and Orissa comes under the Madras Presidency. Altogether it is called as a Madras Presidency. After independence, as per the States Reorganization Act 1956, state boundaries were divided on linguistic basis, that is based on the language the people speak. For example, Telugu speaking areas were bifurcated, that is divided or separated from the Madras state. Likewise, many other regions were also separated from the Madras state. Finally, after bifurcation, there were 13 districts in Madras state. The Madras state was renamed as Tamil Nadu by our former Chief Minister C.N. Annadurai on January 14, 1969. We already know that Tamil Nadu is a state of India located in the extreme south of the country. Tamil Nadu is the 11th largest state in India. It is one of the 29 states of India. At present, we have only 28 states. So, Tamil Nadu is one of the 28 states in India. Now coming to the land masses. That is the location extends from 8 degree 4 minutes north to 13 degree 35 north latitude and from 76 degree 18 minutes east to 80 degree 20 minutes east longitude. These latitudes and longitudes are used to locate a place on the map. You would be already familiar with latitudes and longitudes. Anyway, we will have a short discussion on it. Latitudes are the imaginary lines running parallel to the equator. Longitudes are the imaginary line which runs vertically and intersects the equator. So the vertical lines that you see on the globe or in the map are the imaginary lines called as the longitudes. Likewise, the horizontal lines are called as the latitudes. So these longitudes and latitudes together helps to locate a place on the map. Now coming to the boundaries of Tamil Nadu. At the eastern extremity, at the eastern end or the boundary, we have the point Shalimar. At the western extremity, we have the Anamalai Hills. In the northern extremity, we have the Pulicat Lake, and the southernmost point, we have the Cape Comorin or Kanyakumari. The area of Tamil Nadu is about 1,30,058 square kilometers. It covers 4% of the area of our country. In this picture, you can see the latitudes and longitudes for the Tamil Nadu state. The vertical lines represents the longitudes and the horizontal imaginary lines represents the latitudes. I have highlighted the latitudes in yellow color and the longitudes in green color. These latitudes and longitudes are used to find a location in map or in the globe. Boundaries and neighboring countries. Tamil Nadu is bordered by Bay of Bengal in the east, Indian Ocean to the south, and the state of Kerala to the west, Karnataka to the northwest, and Andhra to the north. Gulf of Mannar and Palk Strait. As you can see in the map, the Gulf of Mannar and Palk Strait separates Tamil Nadu from the island of Sri Lanka. Coastline of Tamil Nadu is 1076 km long. Coastline is the land area along the sea. So in Tamil Nadu, the coastline is about 1076 km long. This is the second largest coastline next to Gujarat. The state of Tamil Nadu is divided into number of districts. These districts are further divided and subdivided into many categories for the purpose of administration. Now we will see the administrative divisions of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has at present 38 districts. After several splits, there are 38 districts in Tamil Nadu at present. The new 5 districts are Tenkasi, Tirupattur, Ranipet, Chengalpet and Kallakurichi. The districts are further divided into taluks and smaller administrative units. The tabular column here shows the administrative divisions of Tamil Nadu. First, the state is divided into districts. Collector is the head of the district, and these districts are further divided into revenue divisions. The revenue divisions are headed by the revenue divisional officer. They are then divided into many taluks. Tahsildar is the head of the taluk. The taluks are further divided into firkas. Revenue inspector is the head of the firkas. The village administrative officer and village assistants take the administrations of the villages. Municipal corporation governs the city with a population of more than 1 lakh people. And the municipal corporations headed by the municipal council governs the towns with population between 25,000 to 1 lakh. Likewise, the state is divided into many divisions for the purpose of administration. Physiography deals with physical features of the earth's surface, climate and vegetation. Tamil Nadu is divided into physical divisions of Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, plateaus, coastal plains and inland plains. Now we will start with the first topic, Western Ghats. Here Ghats means the mountain passes, that is the gap between the two mountains. We will see in detail about the Western Ghats now. Physiographic divisions of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is located in the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is a part of Peninsula Plateau. This Deccan Plateau is a large plateau that covers most of the South India. In this map here, the brown shade in the southern part of the country represents the Deccan Plateau. It is in irregular triangular shape. It is also said that these Deccan Plateaus were formed about 135 million years ago due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana. The topography of the state slopes towards east. That is, the plateau is higher on the western part and gradually slopes downwards in the eastern part. So therefore, the rivers of the Deccan Plateau flows from the west to east. Western Ghats. Western Ghats are continuous range of mountain. The Western Ghat range in India starts near the Sanghat town of Gujarat, which is in the southern part of Gujarat, and runs approximately 1600 kilometers through the states of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and finally ends at Tamil Nadu at Marunduval Malai, which is at Swamitop near the southern tip of India. In the map here you can see the Western Ghats, which is highlighted in green color. It starts in the southern part of Gujarat and passes through the states of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and finally ends at Tamil Nadu in a place called Marunduval Malai at Swamitop. It is called as Marunduval Malai because it holds plenty of medicinal herbs. It is also known as Marunduval Malai or Maruthuva Malai. It forms the southern tip of the Western Ghats in the place called Agasthiswaram Taluk of Kanyakumari district. Western Ghats. Western Ghats in Tamil Nadu extends from the Nilgiris in the north to Marunduval Malai at Swamitop in Kanyakumari district in the south. The height of these hills ranges from 2000 to 3000 meters. The area covered by Western Ghats in Tamil Nadu is about 2,500 square kilometers. The Western Ghats are continuous range of hills. Though the Western Ghats is a continuous range, it has some passes. The passes are the gaps between the hills. The passes in the Western Ghats of Tamil Nadu are Palghat, Shenkota, Aralvai Mori and Achan Koil. Some of the major hills of Western Ghats are the Nilgiris, Anamalai, Palani Hills, Kardaman Hills, Varasanadu Hills, Andipatti and Agasthyar Hills. Now let us see about these hills one by one. Here, this is the physical map of Tamil Nadu. Here, I have circled the major hills in the Western Ghats. At the topmost it is the Nilgiri Hills and at the southern part it is the Agasthyar Malai. And in between you can find the other major hills. First we are going to see about the Nilgiri Hills. Nilgiri Hills are located in the northwestern part of Tamil Nadu. The Nilgiri Hills consist of about 24 peaks with more than 2000 meters height. The highest peak in these hills is Dotabetta, which is about 2637 meters height. The second highest peak is Mukkurthi, which is about 2554 meters height. The major hill stations found here are Ooty and Kunnur. The Nilgiri Hills has about 2700 varieties of flowering plants. Nilgiri Tar, which is the state animal, is found in these hills. Nilgiri Tar, in Tamil called as Varayadu, is the state animal, is found in these Nilgiri Hills. Natural grasslands and shrublands which were found in Nilgiri Hills are nowadays being destroyed because of the tea plantations and cattle grazing. Next we are going to see about the Anamalai Hills. Anamalai Hills are located in the border of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. It is located to the south of Palghat Gap. Palghat is one of the passes found in the Western Ghat. In this picture you can see the Palghat Gap, which is in between the two hills. Below this Palghat Gap you can find the Anamalai Hills in your physical map. Valparai Hill Station is one of the major hill station found here. Alia Dam and Tirumurti Dam is found at the foothills of these hills. Anamalai Tiger Reserve, Alia Reserved Forest, Kadambarai Hydroelectric Power Plant are located on these hills. Hydroelectric power plant is the place where they generate electricity from the flow of water. Next we are going to see about the Palani Hills. Palani Hills are the eastward extension of the Western Ghats. That is, some parts of the hills are extended to some distance towards east. As you can see in the map here, I have circled the Palani Hills. You can see the extension of these hills towards the east. Except its western part, the major part of the hills lies in the Dindigul district. The highest peak found in these hills is Vandaravu, which is about 2533 meters height. The second highest peak is Vembadi Shola, which is about 2505 meters height. The major hill station found here is Kodaikanal, which lies in the south central portion of the range. Its height is about 2150 meters. Cardamom Hills. These hills are also known as Yelamala Hills, in Tamil called as Yelakai Malai, because the spice cardamom is grown commonly here. Cardamom Hills are located in the southwestern part of Tamil Nadu. The other crops cultivated over here are pepper and coffee. The Cardamom Hills meet the Anamalai Hills in the northwest, the Palani Hills in the northeast, and Varsanadu and Andipati Hills in the southeast. In the map here, I have encircled the Yelamala Hills and highlighted the other hills, such as Anamalai, Palani Hills, Andipati Hills, and Varsanadu Hills. Varsanadu and Andipati Hills. Here in this map, I have encircled the Varsanadu and Andipati Hills. You can see these hills extend towards east. That is, like the Palani Hills, these hills also extend for some distance towards east. Therefore, the another eastward extension of the Western Ghats is Varsanadu and Andipati Hills. Meghamalai, Kalugumalai, Kurangini Hills are some of the hill stations found in this range. Suruli and Kumbhakarai waterfalls are the important place to visit. Srivilliputtur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary is located in the southern slope of these hills in Virudhunagar district. In this sanctuary, the grizzled giant squirrel, that is the large tree squirrels, are protected in this area. Apart from these squirrels, you can also find a variety of animals here. Vaigar River and its tributaries originate in this region. Podigai Hills. Podigai Hills is represented as Agasthyar Malai in the physical map of Tamil Nadu. The major part of the Podigai Hills lies in the Tirunelveli district with its southern slope in the Kanyakumari district. Podigai Hills are also called as the Shivajodi Parvat, Agasthyar Hills and Southern Kailash. These hills feature richest biodiversity in the Western Ghats. That is, these hills have a huge variety of plant life and animal life. So therefore, this region is known for its rich evergreen forest and also waterfalls and ancient temples. Kalakad Mundanturai Tiger Reserve is located in this region. Mahendragiri Hills. Mahendragiri Hills is situated along the border of Kanyakumari and Tirunelveli districts. It is found in the southernmost extreme of the Western Ghats. The average height of these hills is 1645 meters. ISRO Propulsion Complex, a test facility for Indian Space Research Organization, is situated on the lower slopes of this mountain. In this tabular column, you can find the names of the peaks in the Western Ghats. Its height is also mentioned here. Now, take the physical map of Tamil Nadu in your book and highlight the names of the peaks in that map as it is shown here. Eastern Ghats run parallel to the eastern coastal plains of India. As we have already discussed, the rivers have their origin in the Western Ghats. As the topography of the state slopes towards east. These rivers flow from west to east and finally drain into the Bay of Bengal. We will see in detail about the Eastern Ghats now. Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats is a discontinuous and irregular range of mountains, whereas the Western Ghats are continuous range of mountains. This is the main difference between the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats. Eastern Ghats is dissected at many places by the rivers. That is, it is divided at many places by the rivers which drain into the Bay of Bengal. As we already know, the rivers originate in the Western Ghats and they flow towards east through the Eastern Ghats and they drain in the Bay of Bengal. The average height of the mountain ranges in Eastern Ghats is about 1100 to 1600 meters. The major hills found in this region are Javadu Hills, Sarvarayan Hills, Kalvarayan Hills, Kollimalai Hills and Pachamalai Hills. We will see about these major hills one by one. In this map, the major hills of the Eastern Ghats are highlighted. These major hills lies in the northern district of Tamil Nadu. As we already know, the major hills of the Eastern Ghats are located in the northern districts of Tamil Nadu. First we will see about the Javadu Hills. Javadu Hills spread across parts of Vellore and Tiruvannamalai districts, and these hills separate the two districts. Many peaks are found with the height ranging from 1100 to 1150 meters. Among them, Melpattu is the highest peak found in this range. The Vainu Bapu Observatory, shortly called as VBO, is located on these hills in the place called Kavalur. Optical telescopes are established in this site for observing celestial objects. This site began its operation in 1967. Many parts of this range, that is, many parts of the Javadu Hills, are covered with bluish grey granites. These hills are known for its fruit-bearing trees, medicinal herbs and sandalwoods. As the sandalwoods were cut illegally, the sandalwood trees are completely destroyed in this region. Kalvarayan Hills. The name Kalvarayan comes from the word Karalar, which means the ancient name of the present tribes. This range, along with the Pachamalai, Aralvai Malai, Javadu Hills and Sarvarayan Hills, separate the river basins of Kaveri and Palar. In the map here, I have circled the Kaveri and the Palar rivers. In between these two rivers, you can see the major hills, that is the Kalvarayan Hills, Pachamalai, Aralvai Malai, Javadu Hills and Sarvarayan Hills. So, therefore, these hills separate the Kaveri and Palar river basins. The height of these hills ranges from 600 to 1220 meters. So the height of the Kalvarayan Hills ranges from 600 to 1220 meters. The Kalvarayan Hills have two sections. The northern section is referred to as Chinna Kalvarayan. The height of the Chinna Kalvarayan Hills ranges from 825 meters. The southern one is the Periya Kalvarayan. The average height of the Periya Kalvarayan Hills is about 1220 meters. Sarvarayan Hills. Servarayan Hills is a mountain range located near the Salem city with the height ranging from 1200 to 1620 meters. The name of the range comes from a local deity, that is local god Servarayan. They have named the hill with the name of their god Servarayan. So therefore they worship the hill as their god. The highest point of this hill is the temple, which is about 1623 meters height. The highest peak is Solai Karadu. The height is 1620 meters. The hill station found here is Yerkad, which is known as the poor man's Ooty. It is located in this range. So don't confuse with the Yelamalai and Yerkad. Yelamalai is the hill found in the Western Ghat and Yerkad is in the Eastern Ghat. Kolli Hills. Kolli Hills is a small mountain range located in the Namakkal district. It covers an area of about 2,800 square kilometer. It rises up to 1,300 meters. So the average height of these hills is 1,300 meters. Arpalishwara temple is located on this range. It is an important pilgrim center. It has the largest cover of evergreen forest. The evergreen forest is made up of evergreen trees. These evergreen trees doesn't shed its leaves in the winter but stays green all year. Several coffee plantations, fruits, flowers and silver oak estates are also found in this region. Pachemalai. It is the lowest hill range that spreads over the districts of Perambalur, Tiruchirappalli and Salem. The vegetation in this range is greener when compared to the vegetation in the other hills. Hence, it is named as Pachemalai. Jackfruit is a popular seasonal agricultural product of these hills. Plateaus. Before going in depth of the topic, first we have to understand what is a plateau and what is the difference between the plain, plateau and the mountains. A plateau is an area of level high ground. That is, a plateau is a flat area of land, but it is elevated or raised few meters above the ground. As you can see in the picture here, the plains are flat low-lying area. They are flat low-lying area, whereas the plateaus are elevated or raised few meters above the ground surface. The plateaus are not as high as the mountains and they do not have sharp pointed peaks. The plateaus are flat at the top. So therefore you cannot find peaks in a plateau. Mountains are elevated pointed structures, whereas the plateaus are elevated but it has a flat top. These are the difference between the plains, plateaus and the mountains. These plateaus are formed due to volcanic activity, and also when the mountain tops becomes worn out, that is washed off or depleted, they form a flat surface and they become a plateau. Plateaus of Tamil Nadu. The plateaus of Tamil Nadu are located between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. You are already familiar with the location of the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. In this map here, you can see in the southern part of India. The Western Ghats lies parallel to the west coastal plain and the Eastern Ghats lies parallel to the east coastal plain. In between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats lies the peninsular plateau. These plateaus are roughly triangular in shape. The area covered by this peninsular plateau is about 60,000 square kilometers. The height of the plateau increases from east to west. That is, the height of the plateau is higher in the west and lower in the east. The height of these plateaus ranges from 150 to 600 meters. These plateaus are broader in north and very narrow in the south. As you can see in the map, it is clearly visible that the plateaus are broader in the north and it becomes narrower as we move down towards the south. This plateau has many subdivisions. We will see about the subdivisions in detail. In this map, it is clearly visible that the plateaus are roughly triangular in shape and they are broader in the north and narrow in the south. Baramahal Plateau. Baramahal Plateau is a part of Mysore Plateau. It is situated in the northwestern part of Tamil Nadu. In this map here, I have circled Mysore and the districts of Tamil Nadu like Krishnagiri and Dharmapuri. This Baramahal Plateau, which is a part of Mysore Plateau, starts at Mysore, lies in Mysore, and it extends up to the districts of Tamil Nadu like Krishnagiri and Dharmapuri. The average height of these plateaux ranges from 350 to 710 meters. Coimbatore Plateau. The Coimbatore Plateau lies between the Nilgiri and the Dharmapuri districts. In the map here, the Nilgiri and the Dharmapuri districts are highlighted. In between these two districts, you can find the Coimbatore Plateau. It covers the districts like Coimbatore, Salem and Erode. The area covered by this Coimbatore Plateau is about 2,560 square kilometers, and the average height of this plateau ranges between 352 to 710 meters. The Moyar River separates this plateau from the Mysore Plateau. Moyar River you can find in the political map of Tamil Nadu in your book. In that map, first find the Nilgiri district, and at the border of the Nilgiri district, at the north border of the Nilgiri district, you can find the Moyar River. This river separates the Mysore Plateau from the Coimbatore Plateau. Rivers like Bhavani, Noyal and Amaravati, they originate from the Western Ghats. As you can see in the map here, these three rivers are highlighted, that is circled. They are found in the Western Ghats and they originate from the Western Ghats and they form valleys in this region. A valley is a low area between hills and mountains, typically with a river running through it. Tamilla Pallathakku solluvom. So these three rivers form valley in this region. Many intermountain plateaus are found in the regions of the Nilgiris. Intermountain plateau means a plateau surrounded by hills or mountains on all sides. A plateau which is surrounded by hills or mountains on all sides is called as intermontane plateau. Sigur Plateau is one such example for intermontane plateau because it is surrounded by mountains on all sides. Madurai Plateau. Madurai Plateau is found in the Madurai district and it extends up to the foothills of the Western Ghats. Vaigai and Tamarabarni basins are located in this zone. River basin is an area of land drained by a river and its tributaries. As water flows over the ground and along rivers, it can pick up nutrients, sediments, which helps in cultivation of crops. The next topic we are going to see is plains. Already we have seen the difference between plains, plateaus and mountains. A plain is a flat low-lying area, whereas the plateau is also a flat area but elevated or raised up to few meters from the surface of the ground. Now we will see in detail about plains. A plain can be defined as a large area of flat land. In the picture here, you can see the plains on the left hand side and on the right hand side of the picture you can see the plateaus. The plains are flat low-lying areas. There are two types of plains called as the inland plain and the coastal plains. We will see in detail about plains and the types of plains. Inland plains. Inland plains are drained by the rivers Palar, Ponayar, Kaveri and Tamarabarni. That is, these plains are formed over a long period of time by rivers depositing sediments and nutrients and thus making the land fertile. Kaveri Plains is one of the most important fertile plains of the state. The plains of Kaveri is found in Salem, Erode, Karur, Tiruchirappalli, Pudukkottai, Tanjavur, Tiruvarur and Nagapattinam districts. Coastal plains of Tamil Nadu. Coastal plains of Tamil Nadu are also called as Coromandel or Cholamandalam plain. It extends from Chennai to Kanyakumari. As you can see in the map here, the regions or the districts along the coast, that is the sea, are called as the coastal plain or the coastal region. It is formed by the rivers that flow towards east and drain in the Bay of Bengal. As we have seen already, the rivers originate in Western Ghats and they flow towards east and drain in Bay of Bengal. It is more than 80 kilometers wide at some places. So, in some places these coastal plains are about 80 kilometers wide. Though it is an emerged coast, some parts are submerged into the sea. Some parts of the coastal plains are flooded. That is, it is found underwater. Sand dunes. A sand dune is a small amount of sand that lies behind the part of the beach, and it is commonly found in deserts. They are formed over many years when wind-blown sand is trapped by beach grass or other stationary objects. The sand dunes formed along the coast of Ramanathapuram and Thoothukudi districts are called Theri. The coral rocks are found at the head of Gulf of Mannar in the east coastal plain. Beaches. The Coromandel coast along the Bay of Bengal, that is, the coastal region of Tamil Nadu, is called as the Coromandel coast. It consists of many beautiful and exotic beaches. The golden sands of Tamil Nadu beaches are scattered with palm and casuarinus groves, which means Panamaram and Saukumaram. Groves means trees which are grown close together. Marina and Elliot beaches of Chennai. Elliot Beach, which is commonly called as Besant Nagar Beach. Kovalam Beach and Silver beaches of Kanyakumari are some of the famous beaches in Tamil Nadu.
Okay students, go through the lesson and take notes, and the PDF has been sent to you. Go through that also. Thank you.